Hi everyone, my name is Rutuja and welcome back to DataToCrunch. So in today's tutorial, we will see how we can set up this Databricks account, and along with that, we'll try to have the overview about this platform. Let's start with the account setup. For that, open your respective browser and just type Databricks Community Edition sign up. So once you will click on that, you will get multiple links. So in that, you need to click on sign up for Databricks Community Edition. Once you will click on that, just go to try Databricks. Here it will suggest you two options for professional use and for personal use. So I just want to use free account. So I click on for personal use and I'll try to get community edition. So here you need to give your respective Gmail address. So right now I'll give my respective Gmail address and hit continue with email. So you will get your respective verification code into your email. So paste it and it will verify. So you need to solve one puzzle here. Okay, submit. It shows verification completed. I'll continue with the email. It will again ask you for your respective code. Okay, so this is the Databricks platform, which and we will try to have the overview about this Databricks platform. Let's start with the compute option first, which is getting displayed on the left-hand side panel. So what is this exactly compute in Databricks? Well, think of this compute as the engine that basically drives everything which you do on this platform. So whether maybe you are whether you are analyzing data or maybe building any machine learning model or running any complex ETL pipeline, this compute basically provides you the raw power which you need for all these operations. So in this Databricks, these compute resources are organized into clusters. So these are nothing but, or these are essentially a group of virtual machines in the cloud that basically handles all these heavy liftings of the operations. So without compute, you can say that your code is just sitting here and waiting for something to execute it. So let's see the types of this compute. Once you will navigate on this compute, you will get two options. One is all-purpose compute and the next one is job compute. So first, this all-purpose compute, these clusters are basically designed for interactive and collaborative work. So imagine you are exploring data or maybe you are running notebooks or maybe you are tuning any machine learning model. That's where this all-purpose compute mainly shines. So these are persistent, meaning they stay active until you manually terminate them or they get timed out by themselves. So apart from that, they also support multi-user collaboration, so your team can work together seamlessly by using this all-purpose compute. The next one, job compute. So on the other hand, we can say that this job compute is mainly built for automated and scheduled tasks. So we can say that these clusters are ephemeral, meaning that they are created once your job starts and they get terminated once your job is done. So because of this, they are cost effective and they are perfect for running scheduled ETL pipelines or for batch processing or for any predefined tasks. So in short, we can say that whether maybe you are running any ad hoc query or automating your data workflows, these Databricks has covered the right type of compute which you need here with all-purpose compute and the job compute. So now let's see how we can create this compute. So once you will click on create compute, it will ask you to give compute name. So I'll give mine compute name. So the next option is for Databricks runtime version. So Databricks will let you choose your Databricks runtime version. So this basically determines the version of Apache Spark and the libraries which are available to your cluster. So you can pick the standard version or the tailored version from this machine learning depending upon your project. If your project if your project belongs to machine learning or maybe belongs to data engineering or may belong to any advanced analytics version, so it's up to you. You can choose your runtime respective version and move ahead. So right now I'll just keep the default one which is given by the Databricks and I'll click on compute, create compute. So it will take some time to create this compute and get activated. So till then we will talk about the purpose of this compute and why is it so important. So we have some reasons for this. So the first one we can say that it mainly processes and analyzes the massive data sets using Apache Spark, because this Apache Spark is one of the fastest big data engine which is present and available right now. The second one, we can say that it powers the notebooks which you are using in Databricks by enabling you to write and execute Python, SQL, R, and many more languages into this Databricks notebooks. And the third one, we can say that it is essential for building ETL pipelines, training machine learning models, and running real-time analytics. So simply put, we can say that this compute is a backbone of everything which you do on this Databricks platform. So we can say that if we'll see how it works. So this cluster or this compute, it consists of two main types of node. So the first one is driver node. So this driver node, it coordinates all the tasks or jobs which you are running on this platform. And the next one is worker node. So these worker nodes, these are like, these worker nodes are nothing but it will split your workload across the machine learnings, and that's where your actual process will get done. So it is nothing but the worker node is nothing but which you do the actual processing by splitting your workload across the multiple machines. So these distributed systems makes this Databricks incredibly fast and scalable even for the terabytes of data. So right now, if you'll see, our cluster is ready. Okay, so now let's take a step further and we'll see now about the workflows. So because we are using the free community edition, this workflows option is not available for us, but we will try to have the overview about it. So we can say that in Databricks, this workflows, it allows you to automate and orchestrate the multi-step processes like data pipelines or machine learning model training with the ease. So a workflow is made up of jobs and tasks. So you can define dependencies between the tasks to ensure that they run in a correct way. So for example, you might have a task, maybe first task is to clean the data, and then the next task is to train the model, and afterwards then the third task is we need to evaluate it. So in workflows, these workflows will allow you to schedule these processes and run them on demand and even trigger them based on the certain events. So whether you are running or automating any ETL pipeline, or maybe you are scheduling model training or running batch processing jobs, these workflows will help you to streamline these tasks. And what the best part is, so they will provide you the built-in monitoring. So you can track the status of each task and you can make sure that everything is running smoothly. Then the third option is about the catalog. So in catalog we have databases. So now we can see that our database is connected to our compute or the cluster which we have created some time ago. So in these databases, this is where you can organize your data into these databases. So databases can contain maybe tables, views, or any other object which will help you to group related data together for the easier management and the access. So in this section we have tables also. Right now we don't have any tables which we have created, but in this section you will just find the list of all the tables within the selected database. So these tables represent the structured data stored in the Databricks and can be used for querying or analysis or for any other operations. So now we'll see how we can create the table. So you just click on create table. So it will give you option to upload your file. So click on that. So I'll just select one revenue star file. So once it has uploaded, it will give you the path. This path is nothing but where your file has been uploaded into DBFS. So after this, you have two options. You can first you can create a table with UI, or maybe you can create the table with the notebook or in notebook. So we'll explore both the options. So first I'll click on create table with UI. So here it will ask you which cluster do you want to select. So right now I just have only one cluster, so I'll select that. I'll click on preview table. So once you will click on preview table, it will take some time to show the preview of your respective table. So till then we'll see, okay, we have preview of the table. So we will see it has given you the option of table name, create in database, then file type, and the delimiter. So right now it is giving me one table name. So if you want to keep it as it is, you can keep it. Otherwise, you can change it also. So right now I'll change the name. It needs to be according to the naming conventions. Okay, so I have given my table name. Create in database. I just want to create select default database. Then file type, it has automatically selected CSV, and the delimiter, it has automatically detected comma. So right now if you'll see, our all the headers has gone into first row, and right now headers are getting shown as C01 and so on. So I'll just click on first row in header. First row is header. So okay, so right now it is showing the proper header headlines. So after this, we have the option of infer schema. So when you load the data or any file, so right now when we have uploaded CSV file, it has automatically detected .csv file. Okay, so when you upload a file, maybe whether it is JSON, CSV, Excel to Databricks, and you choose to create a table from it, so Databricks will examine the content of the file, and it will infer the type of each column based data which is getting displayed on this preview. So if we'll unselect it, so let's see, right now it is giving us type or as string for all the values or for all the columns. Though unit sold, we can give the name of, we can detect the type of it as integer, right? So we can manually also change it, and if you don't want to change, or if you don't want to put that work of manual work, then you can select on impulse schema. So if you select on infer schema, it has automatically detected its respective data type, and it has changed to string. It has changed from string to integer. And we have the third option of multi-line also. So in many cases, what happens is, like, if you suppose if you have JSON files that may contains records which are spread over the multiple lines, or maybe it is a single JSON object that may span several lines. So if you have this multi-line option enabled for that JSON data, it will tell the Databricks to properly read the data and parse the entire JSON object, even if it spans for the multiple lines. So for the JSON related files, this option is very much important. So right now it is of no use. So I'll just keep it unselected, and I'll click on create table. Okay, so right now it is giving me the schema, whatever schema I have, column names and respective data types, and it is also giving me the sample data, which is getting displayed here. So you can refresh it also. Now, right, what I'll do is, like, I'll again go to catalog, and I'll try to see if I have if that data table is getting displayed here or not. So as you know that we have selected the database as default. So for default database, it is showing us filter table, which is revenue star, which we have created right now. So we have one more option to create a table, which we have seen. So I'll again upload the file, maybe different one. Okay, now I'll click on this create table or notebook option. So if you see what it has done, so it by default it has given us one ready-made Python notebook for this DBFS example. So what we will do is, like, we first will try to connect this file to our cluster. And once it has been connected to cluster, I'll try to click on run all. So once you'll click on run all, it will whatever code it has given us, it will run all that cells, and it will create respective table. So what it will do is, like, this notebook, it basically shows you how to create and query the table or the data frame which you have uploaded to DBFS. So DBFS is nothing but a Databricks file system that allows you to store data for querying inside the notebook. So this notebook assumes that you have a file which is already inside the DBFS that you would like to read from. So right now this notebook has been written into Python. So if you'll see, by default code, it has given file location and the type of file which we have uploaded. Then it has given the option of infer schema, first row is header, delimiter, and then it has applied the options and it has created one data frame, and that data frame is getting displayed here. So right now, as you can see that again it is giving improper headlines. So what we can do here is like first row is header, we can say true. And infer schema, as I have told you, we can set that infer schema to true also. And we will run this cell again. Okay, so right now it is giving us proper data frame with proper headlines and the respective data. I'll do run all again. Okay, so it is showing, it is displaying the data frame which it has created by default. Then it is creating a view or a table, and afterwards it is querying the data. So it has simply we are writing select star from that respective table name query into SQL format, and after that it is showing us the proper entries which are present in the table which we have created earlier. Now let's see about the workspace option. So this workspace tab in Databricks, it's an essential feature that allows you to organize and manage your Databricks resources such as notebooks, libraries, and dashboards and other assets. So basically, it serves as a central hub for all of your files, and it allows you to collaborate with others by sharing the resources with this structured workspace. So this tab, it provides a file system like interface where you can see the list of directories, folders, which are containing notebooks, libraries, and other resources, and which you can organize into logical structure. So we have two types of workspaces. One is this shared workspace, and the another one is user workspace. So this user workspace, in this workspace, each user has their own personal workspace where they can store their notebooks, libraries, and other files. So this workspace, we can say, is private and it cannot be accessed by other users unless explicitly shared. The next one is shared workspace. So this shared workspace is that this means that this is a shared space with multiple users, and these users can access this space. So it is often used for collaboration across the teams or the projects where these resources can be shared and jointly edited. So we can create folders also here. So this workspace tab, it will allow you to create folders, and it will in these folders you can organize your notebooks, libraries, and other resources hierarchically. So we have this option here. If you'll go to create, then you have the option of folder. So first what I'll do, I'll select workspace, I'll create folder. Suppose I want to create a folder with maybe any folder name you can give. Click on create. So we have created our folder for our practical purpose. So in this folder you can create notebook, ML flow experiment, and files also, so that you can organize your files hierarchically here. So suppose I want to create one notebook, then I'll click on notebook here. So once you will click on notebook, this will be your notebook pattern. So first thing what you need to do is like you need to connect your notebook to your respective cluster. So first I'll connect it to the cluster. Then what we have this untitled notebook. So we can give any logical name here. Maybe suppose I'll give Databricks demo 1 and hit enter. So here we have the option of Python, SQL, Scala, and R. So this is nothing but you can set the default language for this notebook, whichever language you want to use. So suppose you can select Python or SQL, whichever you want to choose. Suppose I want to choose SQL, then it will give you default option like we are changing the language, and declaration without Python, it will be invalid. So you just need to select confirm. It's just for your information. So in this way, you can change it to any language, whichever you want. So let's say suppose we have created one table with star revenue star, right? So let's say, so if we want to access it, we'll see if we are able to access it or not. So let's say suppose I have applied this Python to my whole notebook. Suppose for this cell, if I want to apply SQL query, then what I can do is like for this respective cell, I can change this language from here. So up with this language, we have this option of markdown. So markdown is nothing but you can give heading of your notebook. So let's say suppose I'm giving Databricks practice, and then if I you have the option of bold, italic, then heading, you can change the format of heading and all. And if suppose if I'll hit shift enter, then it will give me this markdown or the heading for my notebook. And if I'll click on these three dots, if I'll say add cell below, then it will add the cell below. Similar to that, we have the option add cell above also. You can select that also accordingly. So let's say suppose I want to select the SQL language, so it will give you %SQL here. If you select Python, then by default it has Python language, so it will not give any %sign. So suppose if you select SQL, then it will change it to %Scala because the notebook is in Python and we are applying Scala language for this respective cell. So let's say suppose I'll give SQL, and let's try it for demo. Select star from, if you'll see here, it will give you table name by default. You can select it and you can run the cell by clicking on this. You have run all option also, or you can simply do shift enter. So if you'll do shift enter, okay, so it has executed their respective Spark jobs, and we can see that it is showing our table respectively here. So in this way, you can access the table from by applying SQL queries here. We have one more option of add title. So this add title will add the title for that respective cell. So let's say suppose I'll say accessing revenue star table. So it will give this heading to that respective table. Okay, so now we will look into our last tab, which is recents. So this recents option in Databricks, it will basically help you to quickly find and open the items which you have recently used, maybe like notebooks, workflows, dashboard, or data files, anything. So it's located in the Workspace tab or a menu, and it updates automatically with the resources with which you have worked on. So this makes it easy to pick up where you have left off without searching through folders and subfolders. So it's great for switching between the tasks and revisiting the shared items or continuing the recent work quickly by saving the time. And it basically keeps you focused. That's it for now. So today we have tried to explore every important possible area from this Databricks platform. In the next lecture, we'll try to gain more hands-on on the same. We'll basically try to read the data, then we'll try to create a table and so on. So see you in the next lecture, and till then keep crunching the data. Thank you so much.